protecting Main Street from Wall Street. It's Chris Hoffman with Money Unleashed.
How much money do you put into your checking account from work on a month-to-month basis? It has a high probability that with your investable assets, we can replace that paycheck.
It's time to put you back in control of your money.
You've worked for 35 years. It's time for you to not stress. It's time for you to enjoy and live the retirement you want to live.
It's Money Unleashed with Chris Hoffman.
Welcome into the Money Unleashed podcast with Chris Hoffman of the Hoffman Financial Group. We have new episodes coming your way on Mondays and Fridays each and every week, so make sure you're subscribed wherever you get your podcast. And you can also catch Money Unleashed with Chris Hoffman on WSB in Atlanta for 2 full hours on Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Confidence is something we all strive for, and there are certain things you simply just want to feel your best about. The first, I believe, we've covered quite a bit, is your health. A close second to that, though, would be how you're feeling when it comes to your wealth, and bonus points because those two words rhyme. According to recent research, though, from New York Life, just under 20% of 2,200 adults who were polled indicated they have a retirement strategy, and that does sound alarmingly low, does it not?
Yeah, that's terribly low. You've got to have not just a retirement strategy, but you've got to have a written retirement plan and a legacy plan and wills and potentially a trust if it fits with your family. So there's a lot to button up. It is amazing to see people go through this process. And once we've got the full financial plan built, which includes an income plan and tax strategies and active portfolio management and wills, trusts, healthcare directives, financial power of attorney, folks, our clients walk out of the office with smiles on their faces. And that's what you want when you visit your financial advisor. Not just smiles because the market is up and they're making you money. Yes, that's important. There are going to be years when you don't make money in the stock market. So you can't depend on just one metric of your financial life, which is, am I growing my portfolio or is my portfolio going down? What about taxes? What about if you're growing your portfolio and you're headed for a tax time bomb? Again, I met with a client last week, and he brought his son in, and his son is very successful, just got a promotion, and he said, I want my dad to use up all this money. So he has a substantial portfolio, and he's not going to outlive that money. There's going to be plenty of it left over.
Which is what you want, right?
Which is what you want, and I think he's got a son and a daughter. So now we're talking about, well, if you inherit his IRA and you're at your highest wage earning years, you're inheriting a time tax bomb. Your father should probably take that money out because he's retired, or if your sister's in a substantially lower tax bracket, which it does not appear she is, you could divide it. You could say, I'll take a smaller amount of the tax-free money, you take a larger amount of the pre-tax. Those are the intricate conversations that we have with every one of our clients, and it matters. So 20% of 2,200 adults polled indicated that they have a retirement strategy. The other 80% are lost. They are unsure, and it could cause emotions to take over, and emotional investing is a dangerous way to go, I believe.
Yeah, a dangerous game for sure. Well, let's talk about something that sounds a little bit more encouraging. And this research, again, comes from New York Life and their 2025 New Year Outlook Wealth Watch, which is a mouthful, but it was published a couple of months ago, as you might imagine. At the close of last year, it showed 64% of adults who were polled remain confident in their ability to meet their financial goals, which matches the exact same number at the end of 2023. Here's the kicker, though. Adults who work with a financial professional are more likely to feel confident in their ability to reach those financial goals, 84% for those who do versus 58% for those who do not. And that kind of confidence, that differential right there, that can't be the most surprising thing, can it?
Yeah, and it boils down to one simple thing, folks. It's when you manage your own money, or if you work with an advisor that is not giving you the whole picture, you're just focused on investments. That's it. Your target and where it starts and where it ends is, how much did I grow my money last year? And some of that is dependent on the stock market itself, and the other one is obviously choosing the right investments. So I'm not discounting that that's important, but that is 50% of what working with a financial advisor should provide for you. And the reason I think it goes from 58% to 84% is those additional folks have a full financial plan, including tax strategies, income distribution plan to ensure that they've got that recurring income stream every month, every quarter of every year to pay for their living expenses, plus extra. And it's built into a year-over-year plan so they can stand back from it and assess the entire relationship with their financial advisor. It's not a, what did you do for me this month? It's not even a, what did you do for me this year? There are going to be years when the market comes down. You should lose a lot less than what the market lost, and you should make a lot more than what it makes in the good years. And having all of that in writing so you can look and you can assess your financial advisory team, and your financial advisory team can be accountable to it in writing is, I believe, why you go from 58% to 84% confidence level. That's the financial planning side, not just the portfolio management side.
And I'll put it this way. I mean, confidence is built, and I think in a lot of ways, it's like respect. It's also earned.
Yeah, for sure. You have to see it year over year and work with your advisory team and have them map it out in writing so that way there's no questions. There's nothing that drives me more insane than advisors that talk and talk and talk. They have 2 ears, they have 1 mouth. They should listen twice as much, and they should show evidence of performance in writing. Telling you you're doing fine means nothing compared to what? What benchmark are you comparing it against? How much income are you generating for me? And is that income being taxed at a massively high rate, or have you controlled and lowered the tax burden that people face? There's a lot to it that we work on behind the scenes so our clients don't have to stress it.
Man, I remember growing up and hearing that phrase. I mean, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, and that is true. But putting that adage aside here, I did want to look at how people describe their financial outlook for 2025, because it's another thing that was on this New York Life survey. And as of the start of the year, the top responses to this survey when it comes to finances and the ability to retire at the desired age came down to these 3 answers. These were the top responses for folks. Number 1, hopeful, 33%. And they're on the hopeful boat. 33% are on a different boat entirely. It's heading in a totally different direction, and that is stressed. And then there's a third option here, which is anxious. 28% of people responded that they feel anxious about it. All of these are understandable, but they're uniquely different responses with 3 uniquely different emotions, aren't they?
Yeah, so if I add up these top 3 responses, that captures 94% of the total population that they surveyed. So that pretty much narrows it down. The first one, hopeful. Hope's not a good investment strategy, folks. Hope's not a good financial planning strategy. It's not a good tax strategy. It doesn't distribute income to you. You can't hope for any of this stuff. You need to know. You need to see it in writing. It needs to be mapped out. And then there needs to be an accountable party to deliver those results. And that's what we believe we get for you at Hoffman Financial Group. So cross off hopeful and put it highly confident would be better, right? And that comes with the financial plan. Stressed and anxious, not sure there's much of a difference between those
6
two.
in one hand,
but exactly. But that's a large bucket. That's 61% of people are stressed and anxious. And I'll tell you why. Because Social Security is not paying enough, pensions have disappeared, and the government, in its infinite wisdom, has forced us into the stock market. Interestingly enough, I think Trump at one point over the past week or so publicized that he said something to the effect of, I am not watching the stock market's performance. I'm worried about our economic health. That rattled the market, but it's absolutely true. I mean, he cannot manage the stock market on a day-by-day or week-by-week basis. Otherwise, he's going to exacerbate the mistakes that previous presidencies have made in ballooning our debt, in overspending in areas that should not be spent in taking care of the rest of the world economically, and we take it on the chin. So stressed and anxious, that's no way to go into retirement, and it's no way to live in retirement. Hope's not a good strategy. Stressed and anxious needs to turn into confident in writing a holistic full financial plan, I think we can knock the anxious and stressed out completely, if not to a large extent, and then turn hopeful into extremely confident. Those are the types of adjectives that I would use.
You talked about the experience that people can have when they may bring their stressed and their anxious feelings in. There may be a lot of uncertainty, to use that word again, around where they sit financially, what their financial life is. But then you come in, you do see it in writing, you do start to have the necessary discussions, you all of a sudden learn about the strategies, the possibilities, the opportunities that you have to take control of that financial vessel, if you will, and steer it. And it, again, it's the long game. It's not the short game here, but that's what you're able to provide with this level of financial planning. And this is the kind of advisory team right here that prides itself on that.
I mean, you just hit the nail on the head. The stressed and anxious folks are listening to our show.
Yeah.
And they are not calling because they're stressed and they're anxious, and or they just say, well, I'm hopeful it'll all work out.
Sure.
Right? So if you want to potentially reduce your stress and anxiety over your financial health, you should engage. Now, I understand, right? There's a lot of financial advisors out there that you can choose from. We're not saying call us and immediately become a client. Just call us and let us do the study on your portfolio, that portfolio x-ray, that 401k x-ray, which will, I believe, demonstrate our competency in pointing out exactly how you're poised currently with your financial life. If that alone does not reduce your stress and cause you to be less anxious after that meeting, I will be floored, because it is a breath of fresh air to see in writing your whole entire portfolio in a deep scrub, easy to understand though, in fees, risk profile, growth against targets, and all of the sectors that you're in. It can show if you're overweighted, et cetera, et cetera. It's a fantastic report. I think everybody should get one free of charge from us. Just call us, ask for the portfolio x-ray. We'll generate it while you're at work or while you're doing whatever you're doing during the day. We do all the work, and when you come in, we give you a copy of it to take with you. It's completely free and complimentary. There is no reason that you shouldn't get a portfolio x-ray at least once a year. And if you decide to become a client, that's up to you. If you don't, that's okay. Take the portfolio x-ray with you and use it as you wish.
When it comes to confidence, this may be a rhetorical question, but I'll ask it anyway because sometimes those are important. Do you feel better after you've talked about something, or do you feel better holding it inside for an amount of time yet to be determined? I think we all know the answer to that. And how can you up your financial confidence? That's what Chris is speaking to. It's about going from wondering or hoping to knowing, and that comes from putting a financial plan in place, having it in writing, and having the right advisory team to guide you. Hoffman Financial Group is here to be that team, and there's no cost to get started today. All you have to do is make the phone call, 404-341-6767, 404-341-6767, or find a time to talk to us by scheduling it online at unleashyourmoney.com. Chris Hoffman is an investment advisor representative of Brookstone Wealth Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor and affiliate of Brookstone Capital Management, LLC. BWA and Hoffman Financial Group are affiliated under common ownership. Registered investment advisors and investment advisor representatives act as fiduciaries for all of our investment management clients. We have an obligation to act in the best interest of our clients and to make full disclosures of any conflicts of interest. Please refer to our firm brochure, the ADV2A, page 4, for additional information. The Hoffman Financial Group and WSB are not affiliated. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. This information should not be considered tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a professional specializing in the field of tax, legal, accounting, or investments regarding the applicability of this information for their situation. Any client experiences discussed during the show are unique to that client. They are not meant to imply or suggest you will experience the same results. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments will fluctuate, and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Any comments regarding safe and secure products and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products. They do not refer in any way to securities or investment advisory products. Fixed insurance and annuity product guarantees are subject to the claims paying ability of the issuing company and are not offered by Brookstone. Index or fixed annuities are not designed for short-term investments and may be subject to caps, restrictions, fees, and surrender charges as described in the annuity contract. Please refer to our firm brochure, the ADV2A Item 4, for additional information. Hoffman Financial Group is not affiliated with or endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency. Insurance licensed in Georgia, number 163546.